Just yesterday, Charles Soule gave us yet another reference to the High Republic era in the second issue of his new Star Wars comic. Again, it seems to confirm some of the rumors put forth by the website Zero.hu about Project Luminous, but I think it also could hint at the state of the galaxy of the High Republic whenever we finally see it, and that's what I want to talk about today. In the comic, a rebel commander says in the days of the High Republic, the galaxy was not as settled as it is now. Areas like the Outer Rim were dangerous, hard to navigate, so the people of that time built a huge space station at great effort and expense and placed it in the center of the Dark Zones. It sent out a signal that acted as sort of a beacon, helping travelers find their way. He later says the station's name was Starlight. The rumors on Zero.hu say that the High Republic will take place 300 or 400 years before the Skywalker saga and be about a group of Jedi setting out to explore the then unknown regions of the galaxy. Up until this point, it sounds like a lot of people, including myself, assumed that meant the Jedi would be exploring the unknown regions as we currently know them to be, just space and all that. But now that I've read this comic and looked back at the language from Zero.hu, I think we're going to see a very different star map of the galaxy during the High Republic era. The unknown regions back then probably included most of the Outer Rim. The known galaxy might have stopped at the Mid-Rim. It is a little weird to think that so much of the galaxy would still be unexplored only 3 or 4 centuries before the Skywalker saga, but I also do kind of like this idea of just wiping away the familiar pieces of the galaxy and showing a handful of Jedi on this adventure of exploration. Every step they take beyond the Mid-Rim could be dangerous and terrifying. We might get to see them discover familiar Outer Rim planets, like Tatooine, and before the Republic shows up, I bet it was completely wild and untamed. It has a very Wild West feel to it, which is appropriate for Star Wars, and if they only started settling it 300 or 400 years before Anakin ever lived there, it kind of makes sense as to why it would feel underdeveloped when compared to the core worlds. That said, I absolutely don't want these Jedi to just wander the galaxy, discovering planets that we already know about. I use Tatooine as an example, but it's been in most of the Star Wars movies, like we can give it a rest. Discovering a no planet here and there is fine, but what excites me more about what Project Luminous might be is that it is mostly unfamiliar to us as the audience. I really do want to see the Jedi exploring what we know to be the unknown regions so that the Jedi and the audience can both discover something new and exciting or terrifying all together. I still think that's key. And I also think it's perfectly valid for many planets in the Outer Rim to already be around, to have already been discovered. Just like in the unknown regions, there are places like Ilum. The Jedi know how to get there. So maybe Tatooine or Mandalore or any number of known Outer Rim planets have already been discovered. There are probably hyperspace lanes to and from the core. What I'm getting at is that I think this language from Zero.hu and the new comic hints that most of the Outer Rim has been unexplored at this point. I also like the exploration idea because it makes so much sense for this time period. With the Sith supposedly gone, what else is the Republic supposed to do? There was probably a reconstruction period after the last big battle, but then what? During a time of peace with no real threat, why not explore more and expand the Republic's boundaries? We still don't know exactly how all of these books and comics are going to fit together, but maybe this space station, Starlight, could serve as kind of a hub. Like all of the characters could start there and go in and out of each other's stories, but then they leave Starlight to go off on their own adventures. Maybe it could also look similar to the Jedi Outpost Brightholme that was included in Charles Soule's Darth Vader comic. Maybe Starlight isn't the only Jedi outpost out there. But that's just wild speculation at this point. I just find myself getting excited at every new mention of the High Republic. We still don't even know what Project Luminous is, but with more and more High Republic references from Luminous writers, it feels more and more likely. Last night, some tweets went out about an event on February 24th, which should be the official announcement of all the Project Luminous details, so hopefully we won't have to wait too much longer to find out. But that's it for today. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.